It's a baby. Casey Stiegel, thank you. Our next guest just finished visiting the overcrowded migrant facility there in Donna, Texas, that we brought you pictures of yesterday. And now he's in Brownsville, Texas, where he's about to tour the Border Patrol station there. Joining us now, Republican Congressman Mark Green of Tennessee. Congressman, sorry there was a bit of a lapse thanking Casey there, because it's just devastating to look at these images. And that was just a baby. And there's a lot more babies that are crammed in these facilities, one on top of another. Some don't have anything to sleep on, nothing to cover them while they do sleep at night. It is terrifying. What are you seeing? What do we need to know is happening at the border before we ask what we do about it?
Thanks, Sandra and John, for having me on. It is a tragedy, a human tragedy. In one pod designed for 33 people, 33 kids, there's over 600 children. This morning, when I left the facility, a facility that's set up for 250, there's 3,900 plus there, 3,300 of which are kids. This morning, in the first 2 hours of this facility's operations this morning, 14 ambulances took children to the ER. They gave birth, a child gave birth in the outdoor facility, our mother gave birth just the day prior. And this is unbelievable human suffering and tragedy. 10% of the kids that left this morning, 332 left the facility this morning for placement. 10% of them tested positive for COVID. I mean, it's just crazy what's going on. And what's really bad is the cartels know that CBP is overwhelmed. So what they're doing is bypassing now. They know the agents are processing these children, and they're bringing drugs into America left and right. Gang members too. It's unbelievable what's happening.
Congressman, I'm thinking as we watch these pictures come in yesterday and we watch them again today, and we've seen images like this last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, people would have been taking to the streets in protest. And I did see a couple of articles that were written about the video that came out yesterday, but I'm wondering, where is the outrage that we surely would have seen had this happened in the last administration?
Yeah, you think of Kamala Harris the other day actually laughing about making a trip down here. Well, leaders lead from the front. I came down here, other congressmen have come down here, other senators have looked at this. It is crazy. There is no leadership from this administration. They're the ones who created this crisis by canceling those asylum agreements that President Trump had made to deal with the crisis last time. He solved the problem. I mean, last year they picked up 140 felons. So far this month, 875 felons, convicted felons, have come across around these agents who are processing all these people. It's horrific what's going on our southern border.
Congressman, as a member of Congress, it is your job to identify what's going on there. You're doing that. It's also your job to push your colleagues, reach across the aisle to do something about it, to push this president to do something about it. So what's your goal with these visits at the border? Obviously, we are being brought images we had not seen just days ago. This president was pushed to give the press access to these facilities. We're seeing it now. We're seeing babies, children in very uncomfortable, unsafe conditions. So what do we do about it?
Well, I'm taking back a list of things that the CBP folks told me they need. They need buses. They need an ability to do more DNA tests, because they can't confirm that these family units, this 400% increase in family units, isn't fraudulent. I mean, they don't have a way to do that. COVID testing, they need the ability to test. They don't have the capacity to do this. They're short people. They need more people. The border itself isn't even manned right now because they're processing these huge groups, and the cartels know this, and they're abusing our laws. And I'm taking back a list to my colleagues and saying this is what we got to get for these people who are very bravely serving our country and serving these individuals who are suffering.
Yeah, as we saw with the Texas Ranger who pulled that 6-month-old out of the Rio Grande. Congressman, some